there is a 40% chance, that there's going to be snow tonight between the hours of 3 AM and 5 AM. Do you reckon there'll be enough in that time for a snow day? In fact, I've never, in all my time, I mean, I say all my time as a teacher, I've only been teaching for 4 years, and a year of training as well, but I've never had a snow day. I've not had a snow day from anything since I was at school myself, I don't think. I remember days when I had a real job when there was snow, but because I had a real job and I was commission based, I had to go in. It took me 2 or 3 hours to drive the 8 miles from my house to the estate agents I worked in once, because there was just snow everywhere. But it was, I mean, not one person walked through the door of that estate agent that day because there was thick snow and it took 3 hours to get there. But when you're commission based, you kind of have to go in, and just on the off chance, you never know, someone might come in. But yeah, never ever ever had a snow day. There was a snowy day at uni, but we went in. What do you do on a snow day? What's the protocol? You need to let me know down in the comments what snow day protocol is. I mean, I know we're probably not going to get one. There's a 30 to 40% chance that it's going to snow for 2 hours in the middle of the night. The chances of that being enough to keep me out of school when I only live 5 miles away. I mean, I could walk there by 10 o'clock. Do not tell anyone at my school that I could walk there by 10 o'clock. But I could, I mean, it's a 5 mile walk. It's not going to be comfortable, is it? But I could, but what do you do? Is it a full day off? Do you get to go and just play in the snow? Can I build a snowman and go sledging? Or am I expected to work from home and log in remotely and do marking and all that boring teacher stuff? Or I could teach lessons over Skype. That would be fun. That'd be groundbreaking. But yeah, I like the idea of stopping out in the snow and having a little bit of fun. In other news, we have finalised our plans for the trial run of trying to get Sproglet back to school for half term. The way our half terms are going to be working, it's all a bit messed up this year because I teach in a different county to what the kids go to school. So their half term is next week, my half term is the week after, which I think we've talked about before. We have a similar not proper overlap bit at the end of the Easter holidays where they break up a week before me but then go back a week before me, so I have a whole week when I'm off and they're not, and we can trial getting him to school again then. So we've got 2 proper trial weeks to see about getting him back into school, and we've finalised how we're going to be doing it. Basically, we're going to try and persuade him to get in the car and get in there. The Monday of the holidays, it's going to be relatively straightforward because he's at the dentist on the Monday morning anyway. He's used to going to the dentist. We've taken him there twice now, and there's not been any problems with getting him there, and that's twice in the last 6 months as well. He doesn't open his mouth and let him look at his teeth, but it will get him out of the house. We get to go to Grantham, so he gets to see the church, and then on the way home we drive past his school, so we'll just pull into the car park and he can have his meltdown at school. The second day though, and the day after that and the day after that, we're trying to come up with a plan of attack for it, because I suspect that the reason he is refusing at the moment is because he knows once he's refused and his taxi that takes him to school is gone, that's it. There's no way to get him to school again then. So yes, he might have his iPad or his DS or his PlayStation or his TV or all of that stuff taken off him for the rest of the day, but ultimately by just having that really stubborn, insistent period of time where he's just refusing to get into that taxi, he only has to keep that up for long enough for the taxi to leave, and then he can just do what he wants within I mean, he obviously can't play with any of his technology, but he can do what he wants for the rest of the day. So I wonder how he's going to react to the fact that I'm going to be here, the car's going to be here. We're not going to do anything silly like pick him up and drag him out to the car or anything like that. I don't think there's any benefit to forcing him out into the car, because that's not going to do any good for trying to build the habit of going to school, which is what we're trying to do. So he needs to get to the point where he's making the decision to do it, but that opportunity, that window of being able to make that decision isn't going to close at any point. So we're going to start at 8:30 in the morning. We're going to tell him it's time to go to school. He's going to refuse. We're going to take stuff off him. He'll have a bit of a meltdown. He'll go upstairs. He'll hide away for however long he hides away for. But then he'll come back downstairs expecting to just be able to get on with the rest of his day and get his stuff back at 3 o'clock. Normal, I'm not going to school rules. But he'll come back down and it'll be again, right, we're going to school now. And I don't know how he's going to react to that second one, because we've never done that before, because I'm not here. There's no opportunity to do it. The taxi people, we've been asking them for a year to just hang around. And I know why they can't. It's not reasonable to. Or for the school to send someone out to just sort of hang around with him, and when he's ready to go in, just take him in. So he's going to have that opportunity all day, every day, to make the decision to go in. And if he doesn't, every time he tries to do anything, it'll be, right, time to go to school now, let's get our shoes on. And I really hope it works, because if it works, then it adds a whole load more weight to the plans that we've got for later on this year. And the plot's thickened on that as well, by the way. I'm not going to go into any detail on it today, but there is a third option that has presented itself to me today that I don't want to talk about on here yet, because I don't know how talk aboutable it is. But it's a bit of a halfway house between the two options. See if you can figure out what I mean. And I've run a load more figures today, and it looks like there's very little difference financially between any of the three options, between staying and teaching full-time, giving up and doing this, or realistically giving up to be a carer and doing this a bit more on the side, or the middle option, which is a bit of a mix of both of them. They all, within about a span of maybe £20 a week, are pretty much the same. And it's quite interesting seeing which one supposedly makes us best off, because it's fairly emphatic that I'm worst off doing what I'm doing now, which is weird. So the thing to balance it with is the future, and the fact that by stepping away from teaching now, I'm giving up the position that I'm in. I'm going to have to start again from the bottom if I ever go back to it. So it's not just about the financial situation now, if it doesn't benefit him and get him back to school. If we can get him back to school, that benefit outweighs any downside, and I'm quite happy to take the hit, give everything to YouTube and to writing and to getting him there, and see where we are from there. But if I'm just going to be off and he's still not going to go to school, it adds a whole layer of extra stuff to the decision. But then obviously I'll be here supporting Anna, so there's still benefits there as well. It's so complicated. I will regularly, there'll be vlogs like this where it's not really about anything, there's not really a topic. I'm just turning the camera on and talking for 10 minutes. It's my own therapy. This camera and you people who live within it, you are my therapists, and I'm just telling you the thoughts of Kev for the day. And they were Kev's thoughts for today.